Assalamu alaikum. This is Pratusha Gurwal welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Death toll of fighter jet crash rises to 31 while injured ones receiving treatment at various hospitals across capital. Interim government considers all demands by students of Milestone School and College reasonable, says law advisor. National Mourning Day observed across country following casualties in fighter jet crash in Dhaka. Government providing all support for killed and injured ones in tragic fighter jet crash, says Chief Advisor's Office. International Crimes Tribunal 2 schedules next hearing on 28th of July for framing charges in Abu Said killing case. Israeli forces killed more than 60 Palestinians, including 11 waiting for aid in attacks across Gaza. And Pakistan chasing 134-run target set by Bangladesh in second match of three-match T20 series at Mirpur in Dhaka. Viewers, those were the headlines, and moving on to the details. The death toll from yesterday's fighter jet crash at Milestone School and College in the capital has risen to 31. Among the deceased, apart from one pilot and one female teacher, the remaining are children. This information was shared today by Dr. Saidur Rahman, Special Assistant for Health to the Chief Advisor during a briefing at the National Burn and Plastic Surgery Institute. He said 8 people died at the National Burn Institute on Monday night. 5 individuals remain in the ICU while 78 are currently receiving treatment at various hospitals across the capital. Of this, 42 are being treated at the National Burn and Plastic Surgery Institute and 28 at the Combat Military Hospital CMH. Most of the burn victims are children. Dr. Saidur Rahman also mentioned that communication has already been established with Singapore General Hospital, and if needed, arrangements will be made to send injured patients there for treatment. There is a high demand for negative blood groups for the injured ones. However, the number of donors is currently sufficient to meet the need. He urged the public not to crowd the hospitals unnecessarily. The Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor also said 20 bodies have already been handed over to their families while 7 remain unidentified. Meanwhile, Shipping Advisor retired Brigadier General Dr. M. Shokpat Hussain visited the National Burn Institute to check on the treatment of the injured children and other victims. The advisor said the interim government has taken all necessary steps to ensure the highest level of medical care for the injured. The interim government considers all 6 demands made by the students of Milestone School and College following the recent fighter jet crash incident to be reasonable. Education Advisor C.R. Abrar, Law Advisor Asif Nazrul, and Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafqul Alam visited the Milestone School and College campus in Uttara and spoke with representatives of the protesting students today. After the discussion, Asim Nazrul told the journalists that an information center had been set up at Milestone School. It included details about the deceased, injured and missing persons. The data were being regularly updated. Compensation, rehabilitation and trauma management support are being arranged for the families of the deceased and the injured, he added. Regarding allegations of physical assault by army personnel on students during crowd control efforts, the law advisor expressed the government's regret and said that the military authority will be informed to take appropriate action. He also assured students that the Air Force would be directed to take necessary steps to prevent training aircraft from flying over densely populated areas. Education advisor C.R. Aber informed students that the revised date for the HSC exam, originally scheduled for July 24, would be announced after the regular exams concluded. A one-day National Day of Mourning is observed today following the casualties in a fighter jet crash at the Milestone School and College campus in the capital's Uttara yesterday. As part of the observance, the national flag has been kept at half-mast at all government, semi-government, autonomous institutions, educational institutions, and all government and private buildings across the country. Besides, the national flag has been kept at half-mast at Bangladesh missions abroad. After the Johor prayers, a special prayer was offered at the National Mosque, Baitul Mukarram, seeking forgiveness for the souls of those killed and injured in the incident. Additionally, special prayers were organized at all religious institutions and places of worship across the country, praying for the peace of the departed souls and recovery of the injured. In memory of those who lost their lives in the aircraft crash, the Appellate Division observed a 1-minute silence. In addition, all judicial proceedings at the Supreme Court were suspended after 1 p.m. today to pay respect to the deceased. Political parties also observed a 1-minute silence during the meeting of the National Consensus Commission and offered prayers for the departed souls. The government declared a one-day state mourning yesterday in memory of the military jet crash victims. A state mourning has been observed in Chattogram as elsewhere in the country in memory of the pilot and those killed in the Air Force training jet crash at Milestone School and College in the capital yesterday. On this occasion, the national flag was flown at half-mast in all government, semi-government, autonomous institutions, educational institutions, and government and private buildings. In addition, special prayers were organized in religious places of worship for the injured and the deceased. On this occasion, a Dua Mahfil was held at the mosque of BTV Chattogram Center after Asur prayer. In the Mahfil, prayers were offered for the forgiveness of the departed soul of the deceased and recovery of the injured. Officers and employees of various departments of BTV Chattogram Center were present in the Mahfil. Meanwhile, a Dua Mahfil organized by Chattogram North District BNP was held to pray for the forgiveness of the departed souls of those killed in the tragic jet crash and for the recovery of the injured. North District BNP Senior Joint Convener M.A. Halim, Joint Conveners Yunus Chaudhry, Alhaj Salauddin, Nurul Amin and BNP leaders of various posts were present on the occasion. The Office of the Chief Advisor informed the government is providing all necessary support for those killed and injured in the tragic fighter jet crash at Milestone School and College in the capital. In a press release issued today by the Chief Advisor's press wing, it was mentioned that the names and identities of the deceased are being verified and listed. The bodies that cannot be identified are being matched through DNA testing. Besides, the best possible medical care has been arranged for the injured at several hospitals in Dhaka, it said. The statement said, "We are deeply concerned that certain quarters are spreading misinformation claiming that casualty figures are being concealed. We strongly assert that claims are false." It also stated the government, the army administration, and the school authority and hospital authorities are working together to publish a complete and accurate list of those injured and killed in this tragic incident. The press release said, "If anyone you know is still missing due to this accident, please contact the school authority immediately. A control room is being set up there." In addition, records such as the school's registry and other documents are being checked to determine if anyone's still missing, it said. The funeral parade and namaz-e-janaza for Flight Lieutenant Tokir Islam Shagur, who was killed in fighter jet crash yesterday at Milestone School and College in the capital, were held today. The funeral parade and namaz-e-janaza took place at Kurmitullah in the capital. Home Affairs Advisor Muhammad Jahangir Alum, chiefs of 3 services and members of deceased pilot's family attended the program. Following the janazah, tributes were paid on behalf of the services. Colleagues and fellow Air Force personnel of the late Flight Lieutenant Tokir also participated in the funeral parade and Namazi janazah. His body will be taken to Rajshahi, where a second janazah will be held at Sapura Idgah ground. Later, he will be buried at the Sapura cemetery in the city. National Consensus Commission Vice Chairman Dr. Ali Riaz called upon political parties to reach a consensus swiftly and implement the July Charter considering the time limitation. He made the call today at the beginning of the 17th day of second phase discussion between the National Consensus Commission and political parties held at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital. Commission members Dr. Iftikharuzaman, Dr. Bodiul Alum Mojumdar, Safaraj Hussain, Justice Imdadul Haq, Dr. Muhammad Ayub Mia, and Chief Advisor Special Assistant Monir Haider were present at the session. Representatives from 30 political parties including BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami, National Citizen Party, Gano Adhikar Porishad, Gano Shanghati Andolon, Communist Party of Bangladesh, Revolutionary Workers Party, and Amar Bangladesh Party are participating in the meeting. A three-member International Crimes Tribunal II bench headed by Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry ordered the appointment of state lawyers from 24 absconding accused individuals, including the former Vice-Chancellor of Begum Rokeya University in the Abu Said murder case in Rangpur. The tribunal scheduled the next hearing on 28th of July for the framing of charges in the Abu Said killing case. International Crimes Tribunal II prosecutor Muhammad Mizanul Islam shared the information to media today. Early in the morning, 6 arrested accused were produced before the International Crimes Tribunal in connection with the Abu Said murder case. The accused are ASI Amir Hussain, Constable Shujan Chandra Rai, Begum Rokeya University Proctor Shariful Islam, Muhammad Imran Chaudhry Akash Rasul, and Muhammad Anwar Parvez. Now, international news. Israeli forces have killed more than 60 Palestinians, including 11 waiting for aid in attacks across Gaza on Monday as tanks pushed into southern and eastern district of Deir el-Balah for the first time. Hamas said it's working round the clock and engaging mediators in order to stop famine and the critical attack. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA Chief Philippe Lazzarini said, doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers in Gaza are fainting due to hunger and exhaustion. Meanwhile, the foreign ministers of 25 countries and the European Union Commissioner called for an immediate end to the war, saying that suffering in Gaza has reached new depths.